Hello, it's Libby from libbystamps.com and I'm here with you again today for another tool time. And today I'm going to talk about our colouring tools. We have a number of tools in our catalogue towards the back under the heading colouring tools. Now one of them are the sponge daubers, which are small little sponges attached to a plastic tube. So they're about 1 inches high. And sponge daubers and Stampin' sponges make a great team for sponging any project. Daubers slip right onto your finger, and I usually use my tall finger, slip it on, and they give you great application control. To use a sponge dauber with classic Stampin' pad, press a closed ink pad. You just slide the ink pad open a little bit, press it so that the lid and the base squash together, and then that gives you ink in your lid. And then you would just simply use the sponge dauber to apply the ink to the desired area. Sponge colour in broad strokes at a 45-degree angle, or push directly onto paper at a 90-degree angle for a sponged circle of colour, like you would do for cheeks. Sponge daubers daub touches of Stampin' ink on stamps or directly on your project. You get 5 in a pack, and I just keep mine in a plastic container, and because I use them so often, I have one sponge dauber for each colour and I've labelled them so I know what colour it is I've used. The next product I'm going to talk about are our Stampin' sponges. Now unfortunately I don't have a full pack here, but they're wonderful. They're superb for sponging ink onto projects, and they're about 2 3/4 inches wide. And I'll try and get this one out. There we go. So I find that's a little bit wide for my hand, and I know you can squeeze them up, but I cut mine into probably sixths. You can see there. So there's half a sponge, so I cut them into about 6 pieces, and then I just punch out a colour of card and staple it by squeezing, and then I've got a little handle for colouring, and I have a sponge ready to go for any project. Now I just keep my Stampin' sponges in a tackle box that I got at a dollar shop. I haven't spent a lot of money on it. It was only a couple of dollars, but it's a great way to store all my sponges. You get 3 sponges in a pack, and they're great for going around the edges of your cardstock. And as I said, I like to cut mine into wedges, so I've got 1 for each colour. These sponges are large enough that you can use different sides for different colours if you want to, or as I said, cut them into wedges. Rinse out after each use if you don't want to have a sponge for each colour. Alright, the next product I'm going to talk to you about are our Stampin' spritzers, and these are great because you can fill them with water or with rubbing alcohol. So you just simply unscrew the lid and fill the reservoir. Great for use with watercolour pencils. If you check out any of my current videos, you'll be able to see how I've used them with watercolour pencils, and also great for classic Stampin' pad. You get 2 per pack. You can create your own watercolour spritzer, so you can fill it with water or rubbing alcohol, and you can mix it, put a little bit of re-inker inside. Now one good tip for these is if you have white ribbon, put a little bit of re-inker inside, about 20 drops I suppose, and rubbing alcohol. Cut your length of white ribbon off, put it in a snap lock bag, and then spray inside the bag so you're covering the ribbon. Give the ribbon a bit of a smooch around in the bag, and then take it out with some tweezers and allow it to dry, and you have ribbon dyed exactly to the colour that you want. So our Stampin' spritzers are really easy to use, They take about 12 mils of liquid, and they're great for spritzing small and large areas. Great for using with the watercolour paper to spritz the watercolour paper. And you get 2 in a pack. So they're our Stampin' Spritzers. Next on my list are our aqua painters. You get 2 painters in each pack, a 12mm and a 15mm. So I'll just take the lids off here so you can see the difference. This one's been well used. So we've got a thick one and a thin one, so 12 and 15mm brush sizes. They're portable and easy to use. They're great for use with watercolour pencils and the ink pads. You can use the aqua painter to pull colour, to blend and soften them. To use, carefully squeeze the barrel of the painter. So you'll find that it's got a flat side where your fingers will go. So carefully squeeze the barrel of the painter to allow liquid to come down to the tip. If you have too much pressure, the liquid may come out too fast and you might find it coming out around this black portion instead. So for best results, just press gently. If you find you've got too much liquid in the tip, turn your brush up the other way and squeeze, and that will drag the liquid back into the barrel of your aqua painter. For best results, empty the barrel and wipe moisture from the brush tip for storage. You can put rubbing alcohol and bleach in them, diluted of course, but make sure you clean them properly afterwards. They're easy to clean, so just pass a couple of strokes over on a scrap of paper to remove the colour, or you can use your Stampin' Scrub. Alright, so that's our aqua painters. The next one I'm going to talk to you about are our blender pens. You actually get 3 in a package. I don't have a new package with me, but these are fantastic. They blend watercolour pencils plus the ink, of course, the ink pad. Blended pens combine the flexibility of watercolours with the convenience of markers. The tips are just felt tips. It's easy to achieve a beautiful watercolour effect using blender pens with just about any colour source. You can use your watercolour pencils, as I said, the classic stamp pads, and the Stampin' Write markers as well. You can do a line in your classic Stampin' Write marker and then blend the colour out. And I love the tip cleans off just a stroke or 2 on scrap paper, so I don't have to have a different pen for each colour. So you can use the blender pen to create a watercolour effect, colour or outline a stamped image with Stampin' Write markers or watercolour pencils, pull and blend the colours with the blender pen. You can also dip the blender pen into classic Stampin' pads and apply directly to paper. Discoloured tips will not affect performance and they're acid and lignin free. Alright, the last product I'm going to talk to you about are our sponge brayers. Now these are new in the 2016-2017 catalogue, and you get 2 handles, 2 plastic handles, and you get 4 sponges. Now ideally you need a sponge for each colour or each colour family, and the sponges are about 4.4 centimetres wide. Now easy to put together, so you just slip one handle in on one side and pull and slip in the other side. Roll in colour going in one direction and then roll the colour onto your project. Then store them away later for use. I usually take the handles off because that just makes it easier for my storage system, which is a takeaway container. So you can use sponge brayers on small areas, large areas. It's great for that emboss resist effect. So fantastic product, well worth you looking into. Alright, that's it from Tool Time and me today. Thanks for stopping by. Bye for now.